योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचां मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोतं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि। आबाहुपुरुषाकारं शङ्खचक्रासिधारिणं सहस्रशिरसं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिम्।
Hope you've been finding the episode so far useful and informative, and you're able to note that with every previous episode, you're able to connect with the upcoming episode in a way that your practice and understanding can be developed. In today's episode, we will be seeing Marichyasana 1. Marichyasana is named after sage Marichi, who is also the grandfather of Lord Surya. This asana is dedicated to him. Marichyasana 1 involves both a forward extension as well as a lateral rotation of the spine or a lateral twist. Because in the previous episode or the previous series we saw forward extensions, and in the next segments we are seeing lateral twists, Marichyasana serves as a good intermediary, a good transition which incorporates both forward extensions and twists. There is a general misnomer that yoga is done to gain flexibility or to lose weight. While both these aspects are important, these are just byproducts of a proper practice. A proper practice is alignment centric, where a practitioner can internalize, be reflective, and have a feedback mechanism as to where what is working, how is it working, which part is overextended, which part is underextended, where the penetration of an asana is, etc. It is the study of the entire fusion of body, mind and spirit. How is alignment important? When, let's say, the entire principle of alignment moves from the gross body to the subtle. As you've seen in instructions, we've mentioned how the thigh needs to be back, how the chest needs to be lifted, how the arm needs to be up, etc. Let's take an instance. When we say, for example, lift your arms in Urdhva Hastasana, the arms is a gross term where a practitioner at the beginning looks at the arm as an arm alone and lifts the arm. But as the practice furthers, we say, by lifting the arm, notice how the intercostal muscles expand, notice how the space within the body increases, the diaphragm widens, the anterior spine raises up, various parts of the body are brought into a practitioner's attention. When this happens, from the gross, you start tuning inside the body. You start looking at the intercostal muscles, you start looking at the diaphragm. That way, actions become internalized. You remain integrated within oneself. You're one with your own inner condition. In that manner, from physical, you transfer or transpond or progress to the physiological state. As you proceed in this manner, you bring a complete mental awareness along with a practice that is already physiological, and so alignment is used as one of those central principles which helps you progress from a physical to a physiological to a mental, and hopefully after several decades to a spiritual practice. In today's episode, we will see Marichyasana 1. Now we will see the instructions for Marichyasana 1. Like all sitting poses and forward extensions, we start from Dandasana, where the feet and toes are together. With the legs together, rolling the thighs in, the thigh must be pressed steadily down until the backs of the thigh spread and touch the ground evenly. Similarly, the calf muscle must be moved away from the back of the knee such that it doesn't hinder the back of the knee. It must move away, and then the heel must be extended away, giving the tendon behind the heel a good extension. With that, the heel pads are extended, toe pads, particularly the big toe mound, is active. Setting the legs such, you have to press the hands, raise the chest up, raise the spine anteriorly up, and nicely cut the shoulders back. When you raise the chest up, it's important, especially in Marichyasana and twisting poses, to see that the abdomen is raised nicely, well distinguished from the thigh. The abdomen must not sink into the thigh. There must be a clear-cut demarcation where the abdomen is long and the diaphragm itself is distanced away from the thigh. Having this as the basis, one leg should be bent in Marichyasana. Here we will do the right leg. When the right leg is bent, it's bent such that the right knee faces the ceiling and the heel aligns with the outer buttock. Marichyasana 1 comes in two ways. It can be done as a lateral rotation and it can be done as a forward extension as well. It can also be done in combination where it is both a lateral rotation as well as a forward extension. We will show you all three parts now, first starting with Marichyasana 1 as a lateral rotation. Firstly, the practitioner has to interlock his hands and hold the shin bone close to his chest. The shin bone is held in such a way that the shin is drawn towards the chest. At the same time, the back ribs are drawn towards the shin. By this, I mean the two extremities, the shin on one side and the back ribs on the other side, are pulled close to each other. When this happens, the abdominal layer is fused against the frontal thigh. So drawing the shin in, you're bridging the gap between the abdomen and the frontal thigh. While this is done, you have to then raise the chest up in such a manner that you can feel the skin of the abdomen or the abdominal sheath extending against the thigh, throat relaxed, chest relaxed, but shoulders rolled back. From here, we go to the first position where the practitioner fixes the elbow of the right hand against the right inner knee. Doing that, the left hand is taken behind and then you're rotating into a lateral twist in a way that the abdominal sheath is rotated, the floating ribs are rotated right to left, the chest is rotated right to left, and then the shoulder is. Again, the order was abdomen first, then the top ribs, then the chest, then the shoulder. I will show you why. Many times a turn may be initiated at the shoulder without the abdomen following at all. So, because the abdomen doesn't move easily, you must first initiate the movement at the abdomen and waistline, then followed by the chest and sternum. This is where the elbow is first fixed. The practitioner can then move a little more inside to fix the upper arm against the inner knee. When the upper arm is fixed against the inner knee, again the same procedure is followed where you move into a lateral twist from the bottom towards the top spine. The twist itself is done in such a way that the upper arm pushes against the knee hard. The knee then resists the push, and between this tug of war where the upper arm pushes the knee and the knee resists the push, in this action comes the action of the twist. Within this interaction, the twist must be supremely established. Every time you twist, you have to give importance to a lifted spine. So you rotate, you lift the spine, you rotate, you lift the spine. Any twist should happen when the spine is well extended only. Then you move to the third position where you come close such that the back ribs and armpit are placed against the inner thigh. Once again, remember we started at the point where the thigh was against the abdomen. There was no spacing. Here then we move to the same point where there is no spacing. The back ribs are placed against the inner thigh. Armpit maintains a strong connect with the inner knee. Here, pushing the arm back. You have to drive the armpit forward. Abdomen has to go through a full rotation. The left shoulder has to really swerve back. So there are two portions. The right side of the body comes forward. The left side of the body has to widen and roll back. Once that is done, the left hand is released and then the right hand entwines behind the shin and holds the other hand at the wrist. So this is a palm to wrist action. It is possible that a practitioner may not be able to hold the wrist all the way. In that case, you can start by holding the palm or the fingers and then gradually proceed to holding the wrist. Upon holding the wrist, you have to move the spine in, back ribs in, raise the chest and further amplify the twist, arranging the chin over the shoulder. This is Marichyasana 1 as a lateral rotation. Now we will show Marichyasana 1 as a forward extension. Again, starting from Dandasana with the feet and toes together, bending one leg to Marichyasana where the knee is facing the ceiling, the shin has to be drawn towards the chest and the back ribs have to be pulled in, all with the chest open, throat relaxed and shoulders wide. From this position, the practitioner then starts targeting or going towards the straight as in Dandasana leg without dislodging the Marichyasana knee. So, bringing the arm inward, the practitioner then goes towards the foot, holds the foot on either side and goes into a concave back extension. Remember, we said in Marichyasana, the association between the knee and the side chest, knee and the back ribs becomes very important. Going into this tall concave back position with the sternum up, the practitioner then moves forward to rest the abdomen, sternum as well as the forehead on the leg, on the Dandasana leg, and then finally interlocking the hands around the foot in such a way that the palm can then hold the wrist. All along, as you've seen, the knees have not been thrown out. The knee remains in association with the side ribs and the chest has to be rotated in such a way that the sternum can be centered on the thigh. This is Marichyasana as a forward extension. Now, he will release this pose and come to show the third variation in which Marichyasana is now combined as a lateral rotation and a forward extension. Staying with the Marichyasana leg bent, you first arrange to go in the third phase where the armpit and back ribs came in contact with the inner thigh and then the interlock behind the back is maintained. With the arms interlocked, it's now a tight unit or a very united phase where the back ribs, the side chest are in communion upon which the abdomen rotates. The spine laterally faces, both chests being in one line. From this lateral rotation, the practitioner has to churn the body and rotate the body into a forward extension, maintaining the interlock. In the forward extension, you then have to come, touch the abdomen, chest, sternum, head on the straight leg. Staying in this extension with the arms, palms interlocked, you then go back into a lateral rotation where once again you rotate the spine laterally and then you come facing forward, releasing the leg in Dandasana. In this manner, Marichyasana can be a lateral rotation, a forward extension and a combination of both. In this next segment, we are showing Marichyasana with the help of props to aid a practitioner further in their practice of Marichyasana 1. To show you the difference, the practitioner starts by sitting on the plain mat without any support to the buttock. Previously, a blanket was used. Now it's not used. She's sitting on the plain mat. Here, the practitioner then proceeds to a forward extension in Marichyasana, trying to take the head towards the shin. As you can see, in this forward extension without support to the buttock, the practitioner develops a dorsal curvature similar to a hunch. The spinal extension is limited and the ability to take the head towards the knee is a bit of a struggle because the release of the paraspinal muscles as well as the stifling crush of the abdomen may be too much for the practitioner to proceed towards a full forward bend. To release both the abdomen and the paraspinal muscles, the practitioner will then proceed to sit on height. As you can see, we have given substantial height. This is where one bolster is used topped with 3 blankets. Here, folding one leg into Marichyasana with the knee kept facing the ceiling, the other leg is kept released straight in Dandasana, and then the practitioner, keeping the knee close to the sides of the ribs, then proceeds to hold the foot for the forward extension. As you hold the foot, this incline gives the ability to the spinal muscles to be able to pour down towards the foot. The chest has an ability by which it can extend. The abdomen itself has less of a crunch. There is greater release to the abdomen, and then taking the head towards the shin, placing the abdomen on the thigh becomes more possible because this height gives release for you to be able to travel towards the foot, towards a forward extension. So this is an application where the simple usage of height provides the necessary release for Marichyasana as a forward extension. Now we will see the usage of a rope in the lateral twist for Marichyasana 1. Keeping one leg in Dandasana, the other leg is folded. Holding the shin, lifting the chest, the right arm is brought on the inner edge of the right thigh, right knee. The arm is hooked at the level of the armpit. That is the destination from where you will interlock. So bringing the arm down to the armpit, the other hand has to go back, and then you will be turning the chest, raising the chest up. Here, releasing the hands, you will have to create an interlock between the two hands. Here, as you can see, there is a distance between the two palms, and therefore there are practitioners who are unable to interlock. Here, you then provide a rope where both palms hold the rope, and then gradually proceeding to a twist, raising the sternum up and retaining the arms hook at the armpit. You will have to gradually crawl your palms, coming closer on the rope until the palms are close enough. Over time, as you get the hands to crawl closer and closer, the practitioner then goes into a state where the palms can then touch each other, and then the arms can interlock at the fingertips, and then the palm, and then the wrist. This way, the rope is used as a mechanism to build an interlock for Marichyasana 1. Now we will be using the wall or a pillar for Marichyasana. Here we are using the pillar to show you how to grip for a twist. If you don't have access to a pillar or a wall, you can also use the window grills. If you have low windows where the grills come all the way down, you can use window grills to be able to turn as well. Here, using a pillar, we will show you how to do Marichyasana 1 in the lateral rotation. So, bending, keeping both legs straight. The leg there is one leg that is towards the wall, which has to remain the Dandasana leg. And then the leg that is away from the wall is bent in the Marichyasana bent leg position. Keeping the knee towards the ceiling and the heel aligned with the buttock, we are using a blanket to give the spine an elevation. From there, the arm is brought towards the inner edge of the right thigh, and then the hand proceeds to go around the pillar. The other palm is placed by the chest on the wall, let's say in a stop position where the hand is pressed on the wall. then using the grip of the hand around the pillar, that hand yields to pulling the spine forward in a rotation. So the function of that hand is to pull the spine forward in a rotation. The hand that is against the wall, the palm pressed on the wall, has to push the spine to further turn back. So whenever something rotates, as you can see my fingers and thumb, there is a part that moves forward, but there is also a part that moves backward to create that rotation. So the pulling hand will give you that forward movement, the pushing hand will give you that backward rotation, creating the total rotation or the churn of the spine. There, using this, you can see how much the spinal rotation has been mobilized. The chest is lateral, the back ribs are engaged, the sternum is lifting up, the entire spine including the waistline participates in a rotation. This can be done to explore the rotational aspect of Marichyasana 1. I would like to clarify the position of the bent leg knee. Through Marichyasana, we have mentioned that the side back ribs needs to be in association with the inner thigh. For example, when you're twisting, the side of the back ribs needs to be in contact with the inner thigh. If the leg is in such a position that that contact is not given, then Marichyasana, especially the interlock, will not happen. To clarify the position of the knee, if the leg is too close to the straight leg, as you proceed into a twist, there is a chance that the knee can get dropped, because the closer the leg is towards the straight leg, the more the tendency for the knee to drop, and so that proximity is lost. So you have to keep the heel in line with the buttock or a little further out, so that the knee stays in association with the side body. So the leg has to be either kept by the buttock, heel has to be kept either in line with the buttock or a little further out, so that the knee doesn't fall out and is kept in association with the side back ribs. This position of the leg is pertinent to make a note of. We now saw both the classical and prop supported versions of Marichyasana 1. The classical pose was done on the plain mat using a blanket, and for the prop versions we used height with bolster, rope and a pillar. In this manner, we can further the progress of an asana by wearing props depending on a person's requirement and condition. Any forward extension has several benefits, especially profuse benefits on the area of the abdomen. In the full position, when Marichyasana, the abdomen in Marichyasana goes towards the thigh, the area of the abdomen gets flushed with blood, hence all the organs of the abdomen, the spleen, the liver, the pancreas, the kidneys as well, the intestines, all of them benefit from the practice of Marichyasana. Bile secretion, obesity, these factors are also kept in check. In the lateral position where there is a rotation, the spine is rotated completely. As we mentioned, the area of the abdomen, the area of the waist, the chest, the shoulders, the entire spine is consciously, penetratively rotated. When that happens, all segments of the spine are benefited. It is particularly beneficial also to conditions of the spine such as disc herniation, spondylitis, spondylosis, etc. Again, in the full bent or forward extended position, if we use a bolster or a blanket to rest the head, it also has a restorative effect where it rejuvenates the body, the brain, the nerves as well as the heart. This is Marichyasana 1. In the upcoming segment, we will see more twists such as Bharadwajasana, Marichyasana 3, etc. Thank you and happy practicing.